Supreme. Yo, I just saw on Complex that they did this joint on Supreme, right? And they're doing a little collaboration with the New York Yankees. And I thought to myself, I think Supreme has literally become like the choice to a new beast generation. Like, Supreme was always in its own lane. Like, there is no other brand like Supreme. Think about it, right? Where else do you know? What other clothes do you know resell? What other t-shirt do you know you can wear and have it hold its value and then be able to resell it maybe for more money than when you first bought it, after you wore it and washed it? Think about what I'm saying right now. A t-shirt. Like anything Supreme resells. They could put out a keychain of a piece of dog shit that said Supreme on it and it would sell out for like $30 each. They had literally an ashtray that was like $42 and it sold out. Yo, a fire extinguisher was like a couple $100. Yo, a fire extinguisher, fam. A fire extinguisher. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not one of those dudes, right? And I thought about it before. As you can see, I have a purchase here, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But I thought, I have to touch on this whole Supreme thing, because I know that you guys love Supreme. And don't get me wrong, I love the whole movement that Supreme has. Like, the grassroots, how they built themselves up and how they got this big brand. And I think a lot of their stuff is super dope. I don't like how they don't make stuff for big dudes. I'm not going to act like I do. I think it's terrible that XXL is their biggest size and it kind of fits, a little bit schmedium. And I think that that's a little kind of crooked to the big dudes. They're like anti-husky. That's neither here nor there. But, it is what it is. But I hit up my man. I said, yo, you got them Supreme joints? He was like, yeah. So we got them right here. Air Foamposite 1 Preem. Retail $250. Okay? $250. It comes in the white box, as you can see right here. You can see the Nike on the top. Can't really see. There you go. You got a little effect. Now, these sold out so crazy. The New York City cops had to come, basically shut the whole strip down. And it was madness, right? This is a love it or hate it shoe. You are not on the fence with it. There is no fence with this shoe. You are either totally with it or totally against it, right? I actually am not mad at the shoe. I'm not mad at it at all. Like, I like gaudy, over-the-top stuff. Like, I was one of the dudes that bought the Jordan 16s the day they released, both original colorways. Navy white, all black. I got clowned for rocking them so heavy by my crew. Like, oh, they're clown shoes. This and this and that. Anyway, I bought the 15s, both original colorways, the Carolina white and the black. I like ugly looking kicks. That's my thing. Like, but these are on another level of just craziness right here. Here's the receipt, as you can see. $250, $10 shipping, $260. Now imagine if you paid tax on these, John Baps. Imagine how official that is. What that price might look like. I don't even want to think about that. This shoe is crazy. As you can see, the branding that they put on was very minimal, but if you see these from walking from a block away, you immediately know what they are. Like, there's no mistaking this shoe right here. This is so over the top. And they put this white carbon fibre on here. I think if they would have put black, it might have looked a little bit different, but that white just sticks out like a sore thumb. Black traction pod on the bottom. It's your average everyday Foamposite makeup, but this top, I'm not sure if this is like a plastic coat type, John, or if it's actual paint. It's not paint. I'm not sure what the coating is actually made out of, but it's pretty official. Now, when you look at this takes me back, right? Who remembers your grandma's house? Okay. Who remembers the old school, like, velvety curtains? Remember them, Johns? They had like the gold leaf to them. Tell me I'm not on point with that. The gold leaf foil, all crazy. I love how they did this little penny logo right here, though. They filled in all white. I think that's real dope. The Supreme branding, that's what you're paying for. And on the inside, there's that little box logo right there. Supreme times Nike. That's what you're paying for, guys. Now, it's also right here. People were kind of mad that they did that. People just like to get mad, I think. But they did that. They were like, oh, they put it in there. It's too little. You can't see it. The strip of nubuck that goes down the tongue, like I said, your average everyday Foamposite makeup except for this print, right? This is the print. They did one in black also. It's a little bit more subdued, but this red one just screams like, yo, I'm rocking some crazy looking footwear right now. Like there is no, like, yo, imagine if you got on the bus and you saw like a 53-year-old average dude going to work with like a suit wearing these. Imagine how bad that would mess your day up. You wouldn't know what was going on. It would be like the end of the world. It would be like the space-time continuum would explode. Bill and Ted would pop out with George Carlin in the phone booth. Like it would just be non-cipher. It would be so non-cipher. It would be out of pocket. Anyway, the shoe, it obviously has the same clear bottom. You guys have seen this shoe, but I wanted to touch on a couple things about Supreme, right? This is a little purchase that I made. I needed a Scully. I love the Supreme box logo. Who doesn't? I think it's very dope. I thought to myself, I could maybe be a person that wears Supreme, right? And I can't. I wear Polo. I feel like there's two kinds of people in this little sneaker world. There's the Supreme guy and then there's the Polo guy. They do not mix. I do not know one person that messes with Polo on a crazy level that owns anything Supreme, and vice versa. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm gonna dive into that at another date. But remember that subject because I'm gonna get into that. But this was the purchase that I made. It was a Scully. I saw it. I thought it was really cool. I needed a Scully, but I don't need a Scully. I got like 800 Scullies, so I don't need this. Well, I do like it. It's just not me, guys. Right? You know, it's not me. Like, I'm like the dad from Seventh Heaven. This is just not going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? I imagine the dad from Seventh Heaven wearing this. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, it's non-cipher. So, go to my Instagram page. Follow me on Instagram. We're going to give that beanie to somebody. But you have to prove your Supreme worthiness. Because this is not going to go to your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill type dude. This is going to go to somebody that likes Supreme, honestly likes it. I'm going to pay shipping, all that. So that's going to be given out to one of you guys. So go to my Instagram channel. Follow me over there on Instagram, and we'll give that away. So, these Foamposites right here, I had to do a video. I had to touch on it. What's your thoughts on Supreme, guys? You like Supreme? Are you one of the Supreme people? Are you a Supreme being? That's what I'm going to call it. You're either a Supreme being or you're not. You don't kind of like these. Like... You're either in it to win it or you're out and about. There's no middle ground with Supreme, right? That's my little view on it. You may disagree. You may agree. But that's why it's my video, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to What About Bob It and get out of here. Not Lorena Bobbitt. What About Bob? You know, the part where he grabs the fish and puts it around his neck and he goes to find the doctor up in the woods. And he never leaves and all that. And, you know, a lot of... hijinks ensue and all that stuff, and I'm still talking, aren't I? I'm done. 2 fingers, Supreme Foams. I do like this shoe. I cannot front. I'm not going to be standing on Front Street. So cut it out. Joey Gladstone. I'm out of here. Peace.